In the last video, we have learned about the introduction of the French Revolution. Now, we are going to learn about today the French society during the late 18th century. Now, social condition. The French society was based on feudal system. It was divided into three states known as the Society of States. The first state consisted of the clergy and the church fathers. The second state consisted of the landlords, men of nobles birth and aristocrats. The third state it consisted of businessmen, manufacturers, traders, professionals, peasants and workers, etc. In this way, it can be seen that French society was divided into three states: the first state, second state and the third state. Second one, the privileged class. The clergy and the nobles belongs to the privileged classes. They led a life of luxury and exploited the common people. They enjoyed feudal privileges like feudal dues and services from the peasantry. They were exempted from paying state dues. They control over all high-ranking positions in the army and the administration. They constituted the landed gentry. Now, next, privileged classes, peasants and workers, which consisted of the vast population, were compelled to live a rich life. They were forced to pay heavy taxes and do forced labors. The middle class, comprising of lawyers, doctors, teachers, traders and petty government officers, were wealthy and wise but were deprived of any political rights. They had to suffer humiliation at the hands of clergy and nobles. In this way, we have studied about the social condition of the French society, that the social inequality and luxurious life led by the clergy and the nobles created discontentment among the common people. Second one, that the economic condition. The economic condition of the French society. First, the extravagant and luxurious court. The rulers of France were extravagant and luxurious. They were living a sensual and comfortable life. Louis XIV emptied the treasury because of his extravagant habits. After him, Louis XV enrolled in wars. He was followed by Louis XVI, who was not lagged behind in living up a life of luxury. The second one, economic condition of the French people, that the unfair distribution of taxes. The common people of the country were poor, but they had to bear the entire burden of the taxes. On the other hand, nobles were rich. The nobles were a rich class and could pay taxes, but they were free from paying taxes. There were three types of the taxes: tithes, daily and indirect taxes, which were levied on the third state. Tithe. What was the tithe tax? A tax was levied by church comprising 1/10 of the agricultural produce. Second one, tax. The tithe. A tax was paid directly to the state. Indirect taxes, a tax levied on articles of everyday consumption like a salt or a tobacco. This unfair distribution of taxes had made the people very unhappy. Now, second one, that poor administration in tax collection. Not only the taxes were levied unfairly, they were also not collected in a proper manners. Anybody who bid to give the highest amount of money to the king was given the right to collect taxes. The tax collectors collected maximum taxes from the people and transferred a very little amount to the government. Fourth one, heavy debt and interest. The rulers of France were spendthrift. The rulers of France were spendthrift. Louis XIV spent money lavishly. As a result, treasury became empty and France came under heavy debt. During the period of Louis XVI, the situation further deteriorated. He helped the 13 American colonies to gain their independence from the common enemy, Britain. The war was added more debt, so the French government was compelled to spend an increasing percentage of its budget on interest payment alone. To meet its regular expenses, such as the cost of maintaining an army, the court, running government offices, the state was forced to increase taxes. As a result, France was gripped by revolution. Fifth one, fall in trade. The trade too was on the decline. The businessman has to pay a troy duty at a number of places, which caused many impediments in the way of business. So the business community was full of discontentment. Antoinette's lifestyle. The wife of Louis XVI, Antoinette was a beautiful and luxury-loving woman. The king was completely under the spell. She never gave any good advice to the king. Besides this, she was spendthrift and vain. Because of her spendthrift nature, the economic condition of France deteriorated. In this way, we have learned about the economic condition of France under the points of extravagant and luxurious courts, unfair distribution of taxes, poor administration in tax collection, heavy debt and interest, fall in trade, Antoinette's lifestyle. Now, the political condition of France. First, the arbitrary rulers. The kings of the France were absolute rulers. They believed in the theory of divine rights of kingship. They claimed to be the representative of God on the earth. Therefore, they neglected their duty towards the people. In 1774, Louis XVI of Bourbon family ascended on the throne of France. He and his wife were extravagant in nature. They squandered the state revenue on luxuries and wasteful festivities. Now, the second one, the inefficiency and corruption in the administration. The country was in the grip of corruption. The government offices were sold. They were unintelligent and incompetent. The nobles had signed and stamped blank papers. Any person's name that they had wished to send prison was written on the people of France wanted to end the corrupt people. Third one, the centralization of power. The centralization of power. All the political powers were in the hands of the king. all the representative bodies in the country had either ended or were a tool in the hands of the king. The king imposed taxes on the people at his own will. He also spent the money collected through taxes on his lavish style. Next one, no uniform system of law and order. The laws of the country were not uniform. The different laws were applicable in different parts of the country. In all, there were about 400 laws in operation in France. There were separate laws for the rich and the poor. Next one, the discontentment in the army, the political condition. There was a lot of discontentment in the army. There were no avenues of promotion for the ordinary soldiers. This discontentment is also contributed to the French Revolution. Next one, the subsistence crisis. What is the subsistence crisis? The basic means of livelihood. It is an extreme situation where the basic means of livelihood are in danger. Population rose. The population of France rose from 23 millions in 1715 to 28 millions in 1789. This led to rapid increase in demand for food grains. Price of bread. The production could not keep pace to meet the growing demands of the population. The price of bread, which was staple diet of the majority, increased. Most workers were employed as laborers in workshops on fixed wages, but the wages did not keep pace with the rise in price. So the gap between the rich and the poor widened. Drought or hail reduced the harvest. They were also responsible for the subsistence crisis, something that happened frequently in France during the old regime. We are learning about that. The social, political, economical condition of the people of France, how they leading towards the French Revolution. Next one, that the middle class. What was the role of middle class in the French Revolution? First, we have to know about that. Who were the middle class? What is known as the middle class? The term middle class refers to new social groups which emerged during the 18th century. They formed the more prosperous and educated sections of the third estate. The middle class consisted of professionals like doctors, lawyers, judges, and teachers. The rich among them were bankers, manufacturers, and businessmen. The role of middle class in the French Revolution. The middle class constituted the educated and moneyed sections of the third estate. Despite this, they enjoyed no political rights or social status also. The rational ideas of the French intellectuals based on principles of freedom, equal laws, and opportunity for all inspired the middle class. They faced the society based on merit, not birth. The middle class provided the peasants and the workers the vital leadership to help bring about change in the social economic orders. Next one, the income sources of middle class. Merchants and the businessmen earn their wealth through an expanding overseas trade with the French colonies in America in commodities like sugar, tobacco, coffee, indigo, and silk textiles and slaves. The manufacturers among them made money by trading in woolen and silk textiles. Next one, that philosophers in French Revolution. The France in the 18th century had many revolutionary thinkers. Among them were Voltaire, Rousseau, Montesquieu. Their revolutionary ideas encouraged people to fight for their rights. They exposed the efficiency of the monarch and his government and aroused the people to challenge authority. First, the Rousseau. He was a famous philosopher who wrote the book named Social Contract. In this book, he propounded that the people are the real masters of the state and the king rules with their consent. He talks of contract between the rulers and the ruled. He implied that men had the right to change their government if they were not satisfied. Thus, under the influence of the writing of Rousseau, people of France began to agitate for a revolution. He declared that all political organizations were tyrannical and open to abuse. Man was born free, but he was everywhere in chains. He propounded the idea of sovereignty of people. Next one, Montesquieu. His period is from 1689 to 1755. He was born in the family of nobles. He was a lawyer of profession. He wrote the book The Spirit of Laws. According to him, the legislative, executive, and judicial powers should be separated. This separation of powers would guarantee freedom, equality, and protection of life and property. He protested against the absolute monarchy. USA means United States of America. USA has accepted his theory of separation of power. He stood for the constitutional form of government. He was vehemently opposed to the theory of divine rights of kingship. His thoughts awakened the French society and created atmosphere for the revolution. About Voltaire, he was born in 1694 and he was died on 1768. Voltaire was a well-known writer and philosopher. Voltaire criticized French society, French monarchy, selfish clergy and noble through his plays, poems, history, drama, romance, and biography. He attacked the vices of the society, the church, and the blind faith. He instigated the people to ask for reforms. His thoughts motivated the people to revolt against the injustice and tyranny. In this way, we have learned about the role of philosopher in the French Revolution. The ideas of the philosophers were discussed tensively in saloons and coffee houses and spread among the people through books and newspapers. These were frequently read aloud in groups for the benefits of those who could not read and write. These ideas inspired the people to rise against the oppressive king and immoral nobility and clergy. In this way, we have learned about the French society during the 18th century.